So, learning about what is the DOM and how to manipulate it. If that's what you've come here for, you come to the right place. In the link below the video is this article. Also, I'll put the code here that I'm demonstrating and I'll push it to a GitHub repository. And you can see all the examples of all the different bits of code I write to demonstrate this, so you can understand it. I'm using Visual Studio Code. You should use that too. It's great. You can also run Visual Studio Code through GitHub and probably through Gitpod, but you can also download it off the Apple's Microsoft website. So what is the DOM? The DOM is your entire web page, everything in the web page, and it represents like a structure of different objects in there. And inside of the DOM you have elements. The elements are such as things like div, p, a, so like here we go, elements HTML, head, body, div, button, and each element you can give it an ID. And once you give an element ID, you can then use things like JavaScript JavaScript to update the DOM with bits of information. You can make the web page interactive. So here is an example. So what you need to do is click on the link, look at the Medium article, clap it. You also need to then get to this section here, create a new Visual Studio project and copy this code in. So that is exactly what I've done here. And now notice I've put the script JS at the bottom there. That's because we want that script to load so that before the web page has, so that it will be there ready. Whereas if you put it in the body, it would load after it and then things wouldn't update as quickly. So we've got that there, and then we've got the JS here. So let's just talk through the JS line by line. I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to put this over here. Then we can see both things. So we've got the JS here. I'm going to delete this. So the first line is, I'll make that a bit bigger, move that over there. The first line is, this is the document, the DOM, and we're asking it to get an element by ID. Now, there's many different functions that you can do here, but this is one of them. And what ID element we're going to get? We're going to get something called content, and then we're going to store that whole element in there. So if we go back to the page here, which element on this page has an ID content? Well, this div element does, content. So we're going to get that element there. Then the next bit we've got here, create a new paragraph element. So we're then going to go and get the, we're going to, using the document object model, we're going to add in a paragraph element with JavaScript. So we've got the div and we've got this new paragraph. And then the next line, next two lines we've got, I'll just paste that in there. We're going to use this new paragraph and we're going to get this text content and we're going to update that with this bit of text here. So that it's adding it new to that. And then we're going to append this new paragraph inside of this div. So that's where we got the whole div with the ID. Then we create this new paragraph element, and then we're going to append it so that it will appear on the page. So how can I run this? If we go to Reveal an Explorer, it's just a simple web page. So if I double click on there, and then you can see here that the web page, instead of being empty, which it would be, like if I commented that out and I refresh that page, it would be empty. But then if I do this, it will automatically create with JavaScript an element on this page. So that is what the DOM is. The DOM is the whole page, and inside of the DOM you have elements, and each of those elements can have an ID, and then you use JavaScript by using a function such as getElementById to get the hold of that, and then you can insert things into your page such as this new paragraph. So if that's made sense to you, go and have a look through this article and then answer some questions about this code. So the idea here is you read the question and then I put the answer there as well, but just have a think about that question. So for example, what does document.getElementById content do? So what's the purpose of document.createElement? And then how does a pen child work here? So there's quite a few new concepts. And then after that, there's a little bit of a task for you. So what I want you to do is read through that task and basically you need to write the JavaScript code to create a new button element, set its text to click me. So you're going to do this in JavaScript. And then add an event listener when you click on it that will show an alert saying button clicked. So go and have a go at that. And then we can have a look at the solution to that in the next section.